guys. Against the elements, people are powerless. One can only warn of its movement, and not always, and calculate the damage after it. Let us remember the most expensive hurricanes in U.S. history, which were remembered for their considerable destruction and truly great economic losses. And right here you can see the most effective tornadoes in human history. On August 17, 1969, one of the most devastating hurricanes in history, called Camille, swept across the Mississippi River in the United States. As a result of an unbridled disaster, 259 people died. The tropical storm began on August 14, 1969, and soon gained strength of the third category on the Saffir-Simpson classification scale, swept along the eastern coast of Cuba and continued to intensify intensely, entered the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, causing huge damage to its coastal territories and destroying almost all of the infrastructure in the mouth of the Mississippi River. The hurricane's wind speed reached 310 km/h, the atmospheric load in the center fell to 679 millimeters of mercury, the recorded wave peak was 7.3 meters. Camille caused great floods, landslides and casualties in the Mississippi and Appalachian Mountains in Virginia. In total, the storm killed 259 people and caused injuries totaling about $1.42 billion in 1969. This, $9.14 billion in 2005. The cyclone formed in the east of the Atlantic Ocean on August 16 and, after 8 days, approached U.S. territory. The wind speed was 270 km per hour. Hurricane Andrew destroyed 63,000 buildings. 230,000 people were forced to leave their homes. The damage from the hurricane amounted to $27.3 billion. Prior to Hurricane Katrina 2005, Hurricane Andrew was considered the most devastating hurricane in the United States according to observations. Hurricane Yvonne on September 2, 2004, near Cape Verde, a low-pressure area began to form. The next day the hurricane swept at a speed of 25 km/h. By September 7, the typhoon speed reached 200 km/h. Yvonne approached Jamaica at a speed of 260 km/h. Then he ended up in the Gulf of Mexico and fell to Alabama. By the end of September, the hurricane reached Virginia and New Jersey. On September 22, a hurricane once again passed along the southeast coast, but, nevertheless, managed to look into Texas and Louisiana before disappearing forever. During the passage through the territory of the USA, the typhoon brought 117 tornadoes. Hurricane damage in the United States alone reached $18 billion, and total damage, over $26 billion. Hurricane Wilma was born on October 15 in the Caribbean off the coast of Jamaica. Wind gusts reached a speed of 298 km per hour. 62 people were killed and the damage caused by the hurricane was estimated at $27.4 billion. It is the strongest tropical cyclone ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean before Hurricane Irma. Hurricane Rita. It is one of the strongest hurricanes in the United States and the most destructive tropical cyclones in the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane, formed on September 17, 2005 near the Turks and Caicos Islands. It reached its highest intensity on September 21, when the wind speed in the hurricane reached 1,290 kilometers per hour or 80 miles per second. He was then awarded the 5th hurricane category on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The hurricane struck the coast on September 24 near the southern border of Texas and Louisiana, weakening to Category 3 by that time. On the same day, it lost its status as a hurricane and tropical storm, completely sedated. The hurricane killed 120 people, 113 of whom died in Texas. However, only 7 out of 120 people died directly from the hurricane, the rest were victims of accidents at some point in the evacuation, disease, and poisoning. The damage from the typhoon was $18.5 billion. Hurricane Katrina, the worst hurricane in U.S. history near the Bahamas, struck Florida on August 23, 2005, then passed through the Gulf of Mexico and hit Louisiana and the Mississippi. The wind speed was about 280 kilometers per hour. It was a Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson typhoon scale, the 6th most violent storm in the Atlantic basin in the history of observation. The disaster killed 1,836 people and caused an estimated $1,255 billion in economic damage. The most severe damage was to New Orleans in Louisiana, where about 80% of the city was underwater. Congress has allocated $110 billion to rebuild New Orleans. Hurricane Ike is the 5th hurricane in the 2008 season to hit the southeastern coast of the United States of America before it hit Cuba. On September 4, Hurricane Ike was awarded the 4th category on the 5-point Saffir-Simpson scale. The storm's epicenter was located about 1,150 kilometers southeast of the city of Wilmington, North Carolina, with wind speeds reaching 135 km per hour. A total of 214 people died, including Cuba, and the damage was estimated at $38 billion. Hurricane Sandy is a very strong tropical cyclone that formed at the end of October 2012, affecting Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, Haiti, the Florida coast and then the northeastern United States and eastern Canada. The northeastern states of the United States, namely New Jersey, New York and Connecticut, suffered the worst damage. The storm killed 185 people and caused an economic loss of $68.7 billion. It is the longest Category 5 hurricane in the records and the deadliest Atlantic hurricane of the 2017 hurricane season. Hurricane Irma was formed on August 30, 2017 near the islands of Cape Verde with the launch of a powerful tropical wave from continental Africa. Thanks to favorable conditions, the hurricane turned into a Class 2 hurricane just 24 hours after its formation. On September 5, Irma turned into a storm of the highest, 5th class danger. Wind speeds reached 297 km per hour, wind gusts of 360 km per hour, making Irma the strongest Atlantic tropical cyclone of Wilma's time in 2005. At least 134 people were affected by the hurricane. Material damage is estimated at $64.8 billion. Hurricane Harvey. This is a tropical cyclone that caused catastrophic floods in southeast Texas as a result of heavy rains in August 2017. This is the first effective typhoon to land in the United States. It is also the strongest hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico due to Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Harvey killed at least 83 people. Damage, $125 billion. Because of flooding in Houston, looting increased in frequency, so curfews were imposed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.